Assassination Games 2011 is a fast-paced action thriller starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Scott Adkins, both playing skilled assassins caught up in a deadly game of survival. The movie, directed by Ernie Barbarash, offers a mix of tension, suspense, and brutal action sequences, making it a treat for fans of Jean-Claude Van Damme's work and action lovers in general. But how does it compare to other action movies and the genre as a whole? Plot and characters. In Assassination Games, Van Damme plays Vincent, a former hitman who's working on his own now, seeking vengeance for his murdered wife. His counterpart is Roland, Scott Adkins, a fellow assassin with his own personal motivations. The two are brought together when a powerful crime boss, who controls the underground assassin world, assigns them a dangerous mission. This leads them into a confrontation that tests their abilities, values, and moral lines. The film takes us on a journey where Vincent and Roland find themselves reluctantly working together against a common enemy, despite their differing motivations and methods. The dynamic between the two characters is engaging, especially as their bond slowly develops over time. Van Damme's portrayal of a hardened, brooding character contrasts well with Adkins' more agile, charismatic portrayal of a younger, more reckless assassin. Assassination Games touches on themes of vengeance, redemption, and the consequences of living a life of violence. Both lead characters are dealing with past trauma, and much of the film centers around their internal struggles. Vincent, in particular, is driven by the need for retribution for his wife's death, while Roland's actions stem from personal loss as well. This underlying emotional weight helps to elevate the film from a mere action spectacle to something with a bit more heart. The film also explores the idea of loyalty and trust in the violent world of assassins. It's a world where allegiances can change in a second, and survival is never guaranteed. The relationship between Vincent and Roland becomes a key element in the movie, showing that even in a world full of treachery, there can still be bonds forged between enemies. As expected with a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, the action in Assassination Games is intense and gritty. The film doesn't rely on over-the-top explosions or special effects, but rather focuses on hand-to-hand combat and sharp gunplay. Van Damme's expertise in martial arts and fight choreography is evident, with well-executed fight sequences that showcase his agility and control. Scott Adkins, who is known for his martial arts background, also impresses with his physicality and smooth fight style. Their combined abilities make for some of the best action moments in the film, offering fans a satisfying mix of skill and intensity. Comparison to The Professional, 1994. Assassination Games bears some similarities to Luc Besson's The Professional, also known as Léon, particularly in its portrayal of a lone assassin with a personal code of conduct and a moral compass that is skewed by the violence of their profession. Both films share a focus on a mentor-student dynamic between two central characters, an experienced assassin and a younger one. While The Professional is more focused on the emotional bond between the assassin and the young girl, Assassination Games has more emphasis on the personal motivations of the two main characters, particularly their desire for vengeance. That said, the films differ in their tone, with The Professional being more of a psychological drama with moments of tenderness, while Assassination Games stays more firmly in the action thriller realm. Jean-Claude Van Damme's career. By the time Assassination Games was released, Jean-Claude Van Damme's career had gone through several phases. From the late 80s and 90s, action classics like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Time Cop, and Universal Soldier, Van Damme was a major action star known for his martial arts prowess, charisma, and signature split moves. However, by the late 2000s and 2010s, his popularity had waned somewhat, with many of his films going direct to DVD or being released in smaller theaters. Assassination Games came at a time when Van Damme had embraced more mature roles and was leaning into playing older, more vulnerable characters, rather than the invincible action heroes he once portrayed. His performance in Assassination Games reflects this shift. He's no longer the young, invincible fighter, but a battle-worn hitman seeking redemption. This added depth to the film, as Van Damme's emotional range became more prominent than ever before, especially when compared to his earlier action-heavy roles. Other similar movies. If you enjoy assassination games, there are plenty of other action thrillers that provide a similar blend of high-octane violence and moral complexity. For instance, The Mechanic, 2011, a movie starring Jason Statham about a hitman who trains his apprentice to carry out hits. The Equalizer, 2014, Denzel Washington's portrayal of a retired Black Ops operative who seeks justice for those who can't defend themselves. The Accountant, 2016, Ben Affleck plays an accountant with a secret life as a deadly assassin, combining action with a bit of psychological depth. Red, 2010, a mix of action and comedy, starring Bruce Willis, where a group of retired CIA agents is targeted by assassins. It has a similar tone of aging hitmen coming out of retirement. Final thoughts. Assassination Games is a solid, though somewhat underrated action thriller. It may not be as iconic as some of Van Damme's earlier films, but it has its own charm, especially with its gritty portrayal of two assassins with a complex emotional journey. Van Damme and Adkins deliver excellent performances, and the action is tight, well executed, and thrilling. It offers a mature take on the assassin genre and explores themes of redemption and the consequences of living a violent life. While Assassination Games may not be the first film you think of when considering Jean-Claude Van Damme's best work, it's certainly worth a watch for those who enjoy action with a bit more substance.